Good morning, everyone. I request everyone to please come forward. We don't want any backbenchers and we want the seats to be filled in the front or maybe second or third row. Requesting everyone to please settle down. We'll start the program shortly. Please keep your mobile phones on silent or flight mode, and please avoid any kind of movement in the hall during the event. On behalf of Professor Manindra Agrawal, Director IT Kanpur, and the entire institute community, I, Shweta Kumar, your host for this morning, would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you at the very first PG Reunion PARW. I would now request Dr. Amrita, Dr. K.R. Srivasthan, Ms. Manjusha, Mr. Prakhar Gupta, and Professor Amay Karkare to please come forward for the ceremonial lighting of the lamp, which symbolizes knowledge and wisdom. Mr. Prakhar Gupta, are you here? No? His batchmate? Any of his batchmate? We want two more people. Any of the batchmates of Prakhar Gupta? Means we want the young alumni. Please come forward. Any of. Yeah, we have selected, generally when we do UG reunions, we have batch coordinators. But in PG, we don't have batch coordinator until now, so we thought we will choose two senior most and two younger most people. So one more, sorry? So one in the, so, yeah, please come. Om Shubham Karoti Kalyanam Arogyam Dhan Sampada Shatru Buddhi Vinashaya Deepa Jyotir Namostute. At the commencement of any auspicious occasion, Jyoti has been observed as a symbol of life and hope, dispelling all darkness and replacing it with energy, vivacity, and optimism. Thank you, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, reunion is not about counting the number of years. Rather, it's about reliving and cherishing moments and time to be grateful for the beautiful journey you had as a student of ID Kanpur. Time may have zoomed by, but I can still sense the youthful spark in all of you. So why don't we begin today by going back to our old days and becoming rowdy students once again? Shall we? Yes? No? Yes? Thank you. So may I ask you to stretch your hands, then cross it. clasp your hands. You have to do it other way. Yes. And then flip it. Welcome to the very first PG reunion at IIT Kanpur, PARW. सारे जवाब देने गूगल तो अभी आया है, असंभव को संभव आईटी ने करके दिखाया है। कहते हैं इंस्टीट्यूट हैं अनेक, दिल्ली, मुंबई, मद्रास, खड़गपुर, लेकिन आईआईटी है सिर्फ एक। आईआईटी आईटी कानपुर का टेम्पो, आईटी कानपुर का टेम्पो। Well, I just got to know that IIT Kanpur postgraduates are spread all across the globe. So let's make sure your voices reach out to them too. On the count of 3, I'll count PARW. And you all have to shout PARW, okay? So 1, 2, 3. That was good. We can do once again, this time with Garv, loud and proud. So let's do PARW once again. Let's shout proud once again. PARW once again. Thank you. Now let me take you through a short trip down the memory lane. You all chose to embark on a challenging journey, leaving the comforts of your home all the way to a city once called Kanpur, now named Kanpur, to be part of this prestigious institute called IIT Kanpur. You arrived carrying your personal baggage, and the institute welcomed you with open arms, offering you a unique package, a package of foundation, integrity, pride, and an enduring, unbreakable bond. और जब आप आए तो आपके दोस्तों ने आपका कानपुरिया स्टाइल में स्वागत किया। अरे गिरू, बिल्कुल बकैत लग रहा है। आईटीके में चाय सिर्फ एक ड्रिंक नहीं, ये तो पीजी लाइफ का एक ऑफिशियल फ्यूल है। डेडलाइन हो या दिल की लाइन, वाइवा हो या विवाह की टेंशन, सल्यूशन एक ही होता है। कहाँ की चाय? एमटी की चाय, लाला की चाय। रेस्टोरेंट की बात करें तो आप रेड रोज और हॉल 2 की शशि की कैंटीन में नजर आते थे। देन द टेस्ट बड्स स्लोली ड्रिफ्टेड टू चुंगफा एंड चुंगी। उसके बाद फुट्टू, योग, माखन सिंह का ढाबा became the late night lifelines. Then came लाला कैंटीन एंड रमैया ढाबा। ये तो कैंटीन नहीं थी, हॉस्टल के मम्मी पापा थे। और फिर आया ज़माना हुक्का और अंतरंग का। आज के स्टूडेंट्स प्राउडली कहते हैं चलो वीजीज में मिलते हैं, कप के अंदर चाय और कप के बाहर इंस्टाग्राम स्टोरी। GT Road has seen all combos of vehicles, right from Elephant, Tanga, Ikka, to cycle, scooter, Maruti 800, Fiat, Ambassador. गेट से हॉल 2 तक 4 स्पीड ब्रेकर्स होते थे। आईटी बस एंड गणेश जी का टेम्पो व मोस्ट यूजली मीन्स ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट। और 90s में रिक्शा 3 रुपए आईटी गेट से हॉस्टल तक लेता था। और अब देखिए मेट्रो के जलवे। फेमस jargons at Adda Point were Hadaich, Maggu, Chapu, Sudo, Lasud, GPL, Chapna, Bhokal, Bulla Session, and most famous, Farra, Bakat. तिलकधारी तिवारी पान का चालू खाता ऑलमोस्ट सबका था। और सुंदरलाल पुत्तनलाल का पता ऑलमोस्ट सबको रहता था। सुंदरलाल पुत्तनलाल, एनीबडी रिमेंबर्स? धोबी, गंगू धोबी भी थे शायद। तिवारी, ओके। गंगू मोची, ओह सॉरी, गंगू मोची, करेक्ट। ओके। तलाश रहती थी शिशुपाल जी की, एज ही वुड डू ऑड जॉब्स एट स्टूडेंट जिम खाना। और इंतजार रहता था शिवचरण जी का। शिवचरण जी बोले तो मेल मैसेंजर, who would bring admission letters, scholarship letters, appointment letters, and also love letters for many. L7 on Saturday and Sunday nights were our Netflix before Netflix. And the only two commands that echoed in the hall were movie dekhte waqt, audio, और एक और था focus.
ठीक से नहीं देखे और उसमें हुस्न के लाखों रंग कौन सा रंग देखोगे उसमें एक सीन था जो कि बड़ा इंटीमेट सीन था उसको कई बार दिखाते थे लोग संतुष्ट नहीं होते
Calling home. Anybody else? Calling home meant standing in a never-ending queue at the faculty building landline. और जब पेशेंस का बांध टूट जाता था तब ट्रेजर हंट स्टार्ट होती थी एसटीडी बूथ की. वो घुमा घुमा कर फोन किन किन ने किया है? TV rooms are social media feeds. Mahabharat on Sundays, Chitrahar at 8 p.m. guaranteed food attendance. Watching cricket together when Sachin batted, छक्के पे तो पूरी दिवाली बन जाती थी. And the moment he got out, instant national mourning with unlimited packs of Old Monk, Golden Eagle, Bada Khamba, Chota Khamba, Royal Stack, Bagpiper, McDowell's. Sorry? Kingfisher, okay. Next, I've tried to relate your thesis journey with Bollywood movies. I hope it turns out to be a blockbuster. शुरुआत में हमारा थीसिस एडवाइजर के साथ रिश्ता होता था हम आपके हैं कौन. When reviewers asked, when thesis advisor asked to do the minor revision और ऐसा लगता था कि पूरी थीसिस ही लिखनी पड़ रही है दोबारा. फिर आता था शोले मोमेंट. ये दोस्ती हम नहीं तोड़ेंगे. किसकी? गाइड रिव्यूअर के कमेंट की जो कभी खत्म ही नहीं होती थी. उसके बाद आता था चक दे इंडिया मोमेंट. 99 एक्सपेरिमेंट्स फेल होने के बाद एक जीत मिलती थी तो ऐसा लगता था वर्ल्ड कप जीत लिया हो. फिर आता था वाइवा. वाइवा टर्न्ड आउट टू बी फुल तमाशा क्योंकि उसमें ऐसे जो क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाते थे तो ऐसा लगता था कि शायद हम किसी और की थीसिस लिख रहे हैं. Still we managed to laugh through the chaos like Barfi. And in the end, it was pure Swadesh moment. We realized after years of a struggle that our guide was right all along. Their wisdom, patience, and sometimes stern reminders shaped not just our thesis, but also us. Guide का हर red mark आज gold medal जैसा है. Everyone, please give a big round of applause for all your guides and thesis supervisors. Ladies and gentlemen, the PGs of IIT Kanpur have not just written thesis, they have written history. From becoming leading entrepreneurs to railway ministers, DST secretary, director of IITs and beyond, उन्होंने लैब से निकलकर दुनिया तक अपना इम्पैक्ट दिखाया है. पहले गाइड के माइनर रिवीजन से डरते थे, आज नेशन को सक्सेस फॉर्मूला दे रहे हैं. Let's hear for those visionaries who not only cracked codes and aced exams, but also cracked the code to success and teamwork. A big round of applause for all our PGs. This is all I have from the treasure of memories. I hope I got my facts right. We may have left the campus, yet a part of ITK will always stay with us, sometimes in our hearts, jokes, and definitely now in our WhatsApp groups. On this beautiful day, let's all remember to laugh, share fond memories, and make new memories that we can talk about in our next reunion. I would now request Professor Amay Karkare, Dean of Resources and Alumni, to kindly address the gathering.
So good morning, everyone. So before we get to hear from our director, I will just spend some time with you talking about the impact that alumni makes on this institute through donation and through other activities. Okay. So before I start, I just want to tell, because there is many confusion, there are different bodies which connect to alumni. So we really have three different bodies, three verticals, which interact or connect institute with alumni or alumni together. So there is an IIT Kanpur Alumni Association, which is an independent body. Okay, so which has its own rules, regulations, and it has elections. And currently, Rakesh Sharma ji is our president. So many of you must have voted very recently. We had finished our elections. So the goal of IIT Kanpur Alumni Association is to bring alumni together. So the way they do it is through creating chapters in the different cities, having some events like a startup master class, which will be happening in 10 days, or sometimes chapter events and so on. So because it is not directly associated with the institute, it's an independent body, it's quite flexible in its working. And we have Babita ji who runs it from IIT Kanpur campus. And very recently, less than 1 year back, we started a chapter or some kind of office in Bangalore also, IIT Kanpur Alumni Center in Bangalore, where Jaishankar ji is the looking after that office, and you just heard him talking about his marriage. So अब उनका वो ससुराल बन गया है IIT Kanpur ACB. And the second group is IIT Kanpur Development Foundation, which is a relatively younger organization, started in 2020. It's a Section 8 company, which is governed by IIT Kanpur administration, like director, deputy director. I am on its board. But it is a full-fledged company with a CEO and other vice presidents and so on. So IIT Kanpur Development Foundation people, if they can stand up, so people will see. You must have seen a lot of them were helping you, like Karthik, Vanish, Sakshi, and Shubhang, who designed all these creatives. And Rajat is there, Ishita, anyone else I missed. And some of them are still working because of all other events. And our third, please take it, thank you. Third body is, this is the institute, part of institute, the Dean of Resources and Alumni Office, where I am the Dean. Actually, I am also secretary for Alumni Association, so I forgot to introduce myself. Okay, so as a Dean, we have a team, which is institute employees and project staff. So Nidhi is there, Aparna, where are others? Here we had Sandeep is there. They are there. Sachin, Gunjan, Abida, Manisha is very young. So and we are now growing. I forgot Shubham is there. Shubham is from IIT Kanpur Alumni Association. So all these have worked for last 10 days, day and night. In between, we had this big Samanvay event, which also our office had to manage. So we have been busy for last several days. And as I said, I just give ideas. These are the people who really execute it on the ground and take your feedback and improve things for next iterations and so on. So thank you, all of you. The presentation ready? So I started as Dora 1.5 years back in June last year. So last 1 year we were visiting cities and during alumni get together, I showed what all Dora office and other offices do. And this year I'm trying to change the gear, and we want to talk about the stories of impact, how you people, CSR companies and all are making difference in IIT Kanpur. And this difference can be made by small amounts or big amounts. It does not matter what is the amount. The impact is what matters, and I want to share some of those stories. So the Dora office, when I say, I'm still including all three offices. Our goal is to bridge connections between IIT Kanpur and its alumni. And within IIT Kanpur, I'm talking about students, faculty, and outside we have alumni, corporates, and other philanthropists or well-wishers. So the idea is to transform the institute, to upgrade the institute. I mean, all of you know that Kanpur was considered number 1 for a very long time. Nowadays, we are not considered number 1, we are slightly behind. But at the same time, our director's goal is there, vision is there to bring us back to number 1. So we have to work on this managing resources and And we are also enabling giving back. You can give back in terms of money or resources or time also. So that's also something we are working on. So when we are, as alumni, when we are giving back to the institute, we are actually building the next generation who is going to build the country itself. And you will see some of such examples. So as I said, for this impact, we have the drivers, our alumni, philanthropists, and industry and government. Government is also a big supporter of our activities. And who gets benefited? Of course, our students get benefited, faculty get benefited, the community, this community gets benefited, and the society as a whole. Again, that's why I wanted to show some examples. And this is one of the biggest projects that IIT-K has taken over last several years. And it's a very special project because this is one project which other IITs will find it difficult to emulate. Even though IISc is doing it, other IITs, they do not even have a space nowadays. We are lucky in that matter. So this is our Gangwal School of Medical Science and Technology. This was an idea which became reality through support of Rakesh Gangwal, one of our esteemed alumni, and few other donors, which I will talk about in a couple of slides. But so the idea is that in general, India is lacking institutes that bring medicine and technology together. I mean, this is very common in US and other Europe. Okay, but in our country, you will hardly find any institute which has engineering or technology as well as medicines. We have very good hospitals, we have AIIMS, we have IITs, IISc, but there is nowhere where medical and engineering or technology come together. But in today's world, it's very, very important. So there was an idea that bring clinicians, scientists, and engineers together under one roof for collaboration on healthcare related innovations. And the big challenge was, again, as I said, you can have one part or the other. There was no single entity where you have technical people as well as a hospital, okay? So we had to think about building a hospital on campus. One reason is there are these legal requirements as well that because generally hospitals will not share data with external entities, okay? So our solution is to build a super specialty hospital plus a medical school at IIT Kanpur, which will enable education, training, research, as well as engineering in the medical domain. So to again enable this, we are creating a hospital with 550 beds, out of which 100 beds will be dedicated for cancer care, and 50% of the beds will be reserved for EWS patient under the PM Ayushman kind of Yojana. Okay. There will be, in an estimate, it will affect around 12 crore people, right, so this is a world-class and affordable treatment covering the southern and central UP. I forgot this number, what it represents, okay. And this will be an R&D center of excellence and clinical departments. So to bring this to life, we got support from several alumni. We have Rakesh Gangwal, Anil Bansal, Mickey Pant, Dev Juneja, Hemant Jalan, Deepak Narola, I think Gusutwala family, Parik ji and Vikram Tandon. And one more very, very touching thing happened, that we have this family of an ex-superintendent of IIT-K. So till now, we were generally getting support from faculty members, donations from faculty, alumni, government. But this is the first time when some staff who started from very grassroots level reached all the way to superintendent. His sons and daughter who spend time on campus, they are not IIT Kanpur alumni, but they are so much attached to IIT Kanpur that they came and they have set up a ward. They have donated towards a ward in the hospital. So just 2 months back, they came to IIT, and for them also it was so emotional moment. The whole family came because they wanted to see how IIT has progressed, what is happening, and they were very happy after coming here. So this whole team, in some sense, I would say, have given us really a big support. When we thought creating a hospital, it's not an easy thing, and it is coming out to be more difficult than people imagined. but due to support of people and well-wishers, we are able to be at a position where we are just 1 year away from launching our hospital. I think by 2026 December, we target to start the full-fledged hospital. This will not have MBBS kind of courses. It will be a super specialty hospital, so MD and PhD students only. So the second very important and very innovative thing that IIT Kanpur is doing, again a big challenge it is solving in the area of, in this case also medical. So in one of the meetings of GSMSC, so Dr. Devi Shetty, who is a leading heart surgeon, he told that the artificial heart, so this is LVAD, in simple term we call it artificial heart, the cost today is about rupees 1 crore upward, okay. So it's not affordable solution for most of the Indians. It might be okay in US and other places, but in India, 1 crore is a very, very substantial amount for a normal family. What he challenged IIT Kanpur is to come up with a device which can be around rupees 10 lakh, okay, then it becomes much more affordable. So this challenge was thrown to IIT Kanpur. We did not have enough expertise in those days, but as a engineering challenge, we took it up and then brought in people from, experts from outside, doctors who advised us, and other experts from other universities and so on. And I think some of you, or maybe all of you, have visited this LVAD yesterday, and it has reached an advanced stage, now in animal trial stage. So this is also a very big success full project, again with support of alumni, well-wishers, and corporates. This third project, again, this directly impacts campus community. So some of you must have used gym in your old days, maybe only on 1st of January after resolution. But so gym was getting deteriorated for a long time, but I think 1970 batch came together and they decided to upgrade the gym. So 1970, okay, it doesn't work here. So they funded the expansion and upgradation of old IITK gym. This is just opposite Hall 3. This gym is there. So transforming it to modern fitness hub. So new equipments have been put. I mean, it has been decorated well and all those things. So what happens? So this allowed us to double the usable space. More machineries have been put so that students can come there. And as a result, the number of people who have been using gym have increased by 5-fold. Okay, and especially now we have some dedicated hours for female students, girl students. So even the participation of girl students has increased. So they are also using gym. And in fact, now people are asking us to get the ground floor also upgraded, which is still slightly old. Here is another project which impacts IIT Kanpur staff or the workers, unorganized sector. Okay, the maids and other people. So, and also nearby places. So Opportunity School actually started very early in 1961 by one of the professor wives. Okay, but slowly it grew, and now it is supporting more than 300 children from a nearby community. And Professor Chandlekha Singh, who is a well-wisher, she is not an alum from IIT Kanpur, but she has donated a substantial amount, and other people like Mr. Alok Agrawal, they have donated towards Opportunity School. And so we have this school running till class 8, but now the size will be doubled. She has donated more to double the building, and then we will go all the way to up to class 10th. Some of the students here have done well. They have moved to colleges and all. So this is serving the community nearby as well. One of the major support that alumni and corporates give us is about student scholarship. Many students who come here are, their parental income is not that much that they can afford the fees and mess and all those charges. So these scholarships help them cover their fees, mess bill, and maybe other travel and other things. So these scholarships allow students to excel without worrying about finances. So here is one story where from a modest family, the daughter of a auto driver. She came to IIT Kanpur, pursued chemical engineering, and had a CPI of 8 plus. And she kind of acknowledged that because she did not have to worry about her parents worrying about fees and all, she was able to focus on studies. We have, for example, this was Srimati Saroja Kannan Scholarship. And we have a large number of such scholarship which support students, either merit scholarship or means scholarship. So based on CPI criteria, performance criteria, or also on family income criteria. And we still are looking for more and more such scholarship. Government does support us with lot of scholarship, but still there is a gap, especially students whose family income is between 5 lakh and 12 lakh. There are very few programs for such students. Most of the programs are for below poverty line, which is below 5 or 6 lakh family income, annual income. So we are also trying to plug this gap. Similarly, we have very few scholarships for students who are doing 2-year MSc or MTech students. Okay, so we are looking for support for such students as well. And here is also a very, very inspiring story. So our DORA office got some money from one of the events done by Alumni Association in Delhi. And at the same time, this team came to us, Aerial Robotics. They wanted to participate in an international competition. They had come, I think, second or third in the national level competition and moved to the next stage. So we could support them from this amount we got from Alumni Association Delhi, Outer Delhi chapter. And this team made us proud. They went to US, 3 people, around, I think we spent around 5 lakh. So we could support 3 students. They went to US and got first prize in the international competition. So, so this gave us some recognition in international UAV research and collaborations. So what I'm trying to say, even if, suppose we had 2 lakh rupees, we might have sent 2 people. Here we had 4 lakhs, so we could send 3 people. So amount does not matter. It could be in crores, which can support hospitals, or it can be in few thousands and lakhs, which can support a student's travel. Or in fact, another story has just happened. We could not put it in slides because one of our students, in just 2 days back, physically disabled candidate, he is able to participate in para sports at national level. He got a bronze medal. He required a support of 50,000 rupees, just 50,000 to buy equipment and travel. So we could support him, and he has won a bronze medal there. So I do not have the full story, that's why we did not put it in the slides yet. But these are the impact stories which are making the support provided by external alumni or corporates or even government much more pleasant. So here are few of our major donors who have been supporting IIT Kanpur for a very long time. And as you know, Mr. Narayan Murthy, he is one of our most famous PG alumnus. And there are others as well. So some of them you might know, you might have met them during your BTech day, MTech days. And we are also thankful to our corporate partners who give us R&D project as well as CSR projects and other support. So here are few of the MOUs that we are signing. So thank you all for your support, and we look forward to meeting you again and again. Thank you. Yeah. That will have, I mean, that a director can answer. So I think it will be a separate entrance, right? Yeah, from the back side.
Thank you, sir. I would
Sir,
now
sir, am I, sir? I have an, here. So recently I read in one news article, Mr. Narayan Murthy saying, because IIT Kanpur has a policy to accept the funds only in terms of cash or money equivalents. As IIT Kanpur is not accepting in that form of equity, IIT Kanpur lost a huge sum of
those are government
funds.
regulations. We can't do much about it. Those have been relaxed now. So those things I don't want to discuss. There are limitations actually.
Okay.
Forced by government, not by IIT.
Okay, so you please think about it if.
Yes. I think our Kapil is here. I thought he has left for Bombay, but Kapil is now behind Narayan Murthy to give back that money. Now it belongs to us.
Okay, thank you.
Yes. So even if we would have got that money, see, we cannot put it in stock market like that, right? So we would not be able to grow it that much that Narayan has grown, Narayan Murthy.
So the tax laws in India state that if anyone contributes in the form of stock or anything, they will not get tax exemptions. And for us as an institution, we can accept it. However, we cannot hold it beyond the end of the financial year. We have to sell it in the financial year itself. So the leverage to make money out of it is not available with us because the tax laws in India are fundamentally were more conservative in nature, and they would not promote any risk-based investments or for basically academic institutions and that are not-for-profit institutions. So that to avoid that if the money is going into any equity-based investment and there is a loss, then donors should not cry foul. So that's why they've created this binding on us, so to say. But they've given us some freedom now. Since that time, a lot has changed. Government is also looking at opening up. So we have that opportunity available in some form, but differently.
So if you accept that donations in terms of stocks and all, that whatever the dividends you receive, that you can fund as a scholarships to the students.
Yes, but the only challenge is we can accept stock today based on the guidelines, but we will never be able to hold on to it for a long time. We'll have to sell it in the same year.
The same financial year?
Same financial year, we have to.
Oh.
This matter can be referred to the government to regulate. Let's see the finding of the government.
Okay.
But it has to be referred to the government by the director. I think it is possible. And if not possible, fine, we are here where we are.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to invite Professor Manindra Agarwal, Director IIT Kanpur, to kindly address the gathering.
Okay, good morning, a very warm welcome to all the alumni here who have come for the inaugural PARWA event. And I hope that this is first of many, many more in the future. Isn't there supposed to be some slides here? Okay. Great. Thank you. So, I took over as director a little more than a year ago. But I have been at the institute for a lot longer. I first came in 1982 as an undergraduate student, and I did both my BTech and PhD from IIT Kanpur. So I'm both I qualify for PARWA also as an alumnus. I could not come yesterday. Unfortunately, there are a number of things right now which are going wrong. So I have to douse fires everywhere. So it's kind of takes up a little bit of my time. But I'm glad to be here today in the midst of all of you. And I was saying that I took over as director a little more than a year ago, and but since I have a non-insignificant understanding of the institute and how it has changed with time, what has worked, what has not worked. So I put all of that together into certain slides as to what I think we are doing well, what I think we are not doing well, and how we should improve. And then I reached out to first our faculty, sharing with them these thoughts, and of course evolved it based on the feedback. And then also reached out to, have been reaching out, I should say, to alumni whenever I get to meet them, present these to them and take their feedback. So what you are going to see today is a distillation of about 1 year's of feedback loop. And I look forward to getting more feedback from all of you. So this is presented as a vision for IIT Kanpur. I don't need to say this, we all know it, that IIT Kanpur is a great place to be. It's a fabulous infrastructure and a lot of flora and fauna, which is actually, thankfully, is increasing with time. Most of the places in India, this goes down, but at our campus, I'm sure many of you would have realized that it's greener than what it was. So let me, in that context of the institute being where it is, let me share some thoughts. And this, we start right from the beginning. This is a very brief snapshot of the timeline of the institute. We started in 1960. And this is in the context of how expectations from IITs are changing. Expectations by the outside world, which includes government, which includes the people at large. So initially when we started, we were primarily focused on training and teaching an outstanding crop of students, which we did very well. I mean, all of you and many more are living examples of that. In fact, somewhere around end of the last century, the expectation from the society changed, saying that it's not enough to just teach. We also want the IITs to do very good, high quality R&D. And that's when more funding became available. Of course, there was a challenge of funding earlier, but then over time, more and more funding also was made available for doing R&D, and this coincided with the development of India as an Indian economy. Now, about 20 years, since about, let's say about 5-6 years, I would say, the expectation is changing again. That, okay, just doing teaching and R&D, which is publishing papers, is not enough. We need to also develop impactful technologies. So that comes under the domain of translational research, that you don't keep whatever you do, whatever R&D you do in the labs, you ensure that it comes out in a form that can be deployed as a solution which creates impact. So we are in that phase now. That expectation, IITs have been adopting to this and evolving, and we are continuously doing that. When it comes to IIT Kanpur, in light of these expectations, we were head and shoulders above everyone in the first phase. There is no question, you ask anyone, IIT Kanpur was the place to go to. This changed when the focus shifted for a combination of reasons, which one can write a whole thesis on it, but that's not the point here. But the fact is that we lost that edge when the focus shifted in the beginning of the century. What do we do about it? Certainly none of us are happy with this situation, with that happened. And that's where I suggest or propose lies an opportunity, because the focus is shifting again. And this provides us with an opportunity to reclaim our premier position. But of course, in order to do that, we have to adopt. We have to do things in a different way, which measures or matches with the changing expectations. Okay, so based on these thoughts, and as I said, feedback from various stakeholders, an institutional vision has been developed, which consists of 4 major components. First, responding to the changing time, develop institute as a hub for translational research, which of course will only happen once if your basic R&D is very strong. So that's a base on which you build. So fundamental research remains very, very crucial. And never lose sight of the strength that we have and that we continue to have. Although we may have lost a little bit on the teaching side, we still, if you do a survey of various IITs, we are still the best IIT that, in terms of teaching. Our teachers are probably among the most committed ones. They do the best job in teaching. But just maintain that edge. This is not, when trying to do the first 2, don't lose sight of that. And of course, because this requires significant investment into the campus infrastructure. And when we do that investment, we should also not lose sight of the sustainability aspects of it. How do we achieve this vision? Well, there are 3, if you look at institutional activities, there are 3 major components: the academics, the R&D, and the administration. Administration provides the support to the first 2 activities. And we need to adopt, change all the 3. In the academic side, and this is very important, connected with the teaching side of it, which is the way technology is forcing its way into our lives. The methodologies of teaching of earlier times may not be the most appropriate today. Today, if you give an assignment, even a difficult assignment to a student in a fluid mechanics course, the student can simply ask one of the LLMs to give a solution, and most of it will be correct. So it just doesn't serve the purpose of learning that it earlier used to. One could take a view that, okay, it's not my headache as a faculty, it's students' responsibility. If they want to learn, they'll do on their own. If they don't want to learn, they'll use ChatGPT. But for students at a very young age, that's probably not, they are also under pressure. We always put students under pressure, so it becomes a very easy way out to just use this help. So we need to adopt, ideally, our teaching methodology, how we teach, what we teach and how we teach. So that's something that needs to be addressed. In the R&D side, since the focus we want to be on the translational research, so we need to invest in that. And in the administrator side, there is, as in any large system, there are always complaints that nothing works. Everything is broken down. You ask for a help that's not available, which is a bit of an exaggeration. I think we have a good system in terms of support, but there is still need for significant improvement. So that also needs. And especially now, when a lot of decision making can be a lot better informed, because we have ways of collecting data across the spectrum and using them as an enabler for decision making. Okay, so those are the changes required, and the institute, of course, has been changing, as you can see from this graph. The number of students is growing up rapidly, whether it is undergraduate or postgraduate. Now you see that UG and PG numbers are more or less the same today. And number of faculty also has gone up substantially. We are close to 575. And if you look at the age distribution of faculty, you can see something very interesting. A lot of our faculty are very young. In fact, 236 of them are below 40 years, which is a very substantial, is more than a third, is about 40% of our faculty are extremely young, which is a great asset, because they will determine the way institute will be in future. And if we focus and invest on them, then we can reap long-term institutional benefits. Well, we recently had a US World Rank, no, not a few months ago. Recently there was NIRF ranking. US World Ranking was released, and well, this is the graph of the 5 old IITs and ISC over past 5 years, the way the rankings have been moving for them. The blue line represents IIT Kanpur. Down there, we have been consistently near about the bottom here. And that's not a very good graph to look at, but that's a fact. There is, of course, a positive conclusion one can draw is that this year we have seen a significant jump in the absolute rank. Relative rank is still the bottom, but absolute rank-wise we have increased significantly, and in fact we are now very close to ISC, which is not bad. But then you see IIT Delhi, IIT Bombay, they are a lot ahead. So while we should not be working towards ranking or working with an aim to improve ranking, because that brings in distortions in the system. Many universities in India, they are optimizing their ranking and therefore bringing in a lot of distortions. But we should certainly use it as a checkpoint to find where we are. Okay, so now the 3 verticals I had identified, the academics, the R&D, and the administration. I want to spend some time on each one of these, saying what needs to be done and what have we done over last, let's say, year or so. For this, the action plan can be, the activities or action can be grouped in 4 components. Reimagining curriculum, the pedagogical innovations, I already emphasized why we need to do that. Certain faculty-centric initiatives and of course student-centric initiatives. In the faculty-centric initiative, one of the things that few things that are listed here are, one is that teaching as an independent career track. We have primarily, and this is not true only of IIT Kanpur but across the board, that the career progression of faculty is based primarily on the research output. How many papers have you published? How many students have you graduated? How much funding have you brought in? These are the key determining criteria, and then the rest, how good a teacher you are and so on and so forth, those only act as a icing on top of the main thing. However, we felt that there is a need to change it, and we created 3 different tracks for career progression. One is teaching, which means that the primary thing that one would look at is how well have you taught, how much have you taught. And it is not just inside the classroom, there can be other, online mechanism of reaching out to much larger student audience and so on. Then also the young faculty who has come in, and we have a very large number of young faculty, they need to be helped with the training methodology. And from student side, we're saying that one component which is missing generally in the classroom training is a soft skill training, which is also very important. So we need to focus on that too. Several of these things, the teaching as an independent career track has been implemented. And the interesting thing here is that these tracks are not fixed. A faculty member can simply decide at a certain point of his or her career which track one wants to follow and change it later on. So there is movement available across the tracks. To help with all of this, we established this center called CERTEX, which is Center for Education, Research and Teaching Excellence, with the task of helping in all of this, or taking forward these initiatives. This has been functioning for about 6 months now, and already has, to begin with, it's focusing on the teaching of large core classes and training the tutors and TAs. Okay, so that's the charter of CERTEX, that do research in education to understand the diverse student needs, develop new pedagogical methods, help developing the necessary teaching infrastructure, train people, and not only share the learnings within the campus, but outside as well. Now we come to research and development. Institute has been doing reasonably well in R&D. Here are some examples of recent papers which have been very well received. Also, we have, like I said, all the IITs, in particular IIT Kanpur, has been shifting its focus to translational research. So in last 5 years, here are some examples of such work done, which has actually been deployed as solutions. Security Operations Center at National Highway Authority, Indian Port Association, AI-powered public grievance management system. This is functioning in PMO and many other central government ministries. Hirdayantara, Alma talked about just now, and then there are drone developments which have been deployed at many places. There is one of our startups, so again I'm including startups incubator at IIT Kanpur also, has developed a molecule for cancer drugs. It's been licensed to Roche. There is a group of faculty and students who have developed this a metamaterial based cloaking system which avoids radar detection. A touch sensitive watch for visually impaired, a small unit which has enough number of or enough types of sensor to find out the nutrient in any piece of land. So, but as I said, if we were to do exceptionally well in this aspect, we need an action plan. Again, 4 components of that action plan have shifted focus on translational research, and to strengthen basic research, support R&D activities of faculty and students, strengthen entrepreneurship system, because that's where a lot of this translation research will be channeled through. And in order to make all this happen, significantly enhance the research infrastructure. Again, several things of this have been implemented. Translation research as an independent faculty career progression track. There's a third track has also been. And several of on the R&D side, supporting enhanced R&D or providing enhanced R&D support, that's been implemented too. Student have been, there is a special fair fellowship for PhD students available to those who are submit within 5 years. And then they can avail 1 year of postdoctoral fellowship at the institute. So that has been very popular. It's started 6 months ago, and already 165 students have availed of this. So many of these things have been done or are being done. And again, to help this, particularly on the translation research side, we have established this center, Interface Office of Technology and Application, shortened as IOTA, which is focusing on basically taking the technologies from labs to the deployment stage, which is TRL 4 to 7 journey. Also get problems from outside world for our faculty to solve. Help in fundraising, because this journey from or solving real life problem and making them deployable requires significant investment, and establish industrial collaborations. And this is currently, it's become quite active. It's also about 6 months old. It's currently leading the initiative of developing National Drone Technology Hub at the Institute. And it's also focusing on several other initiatives are in the pipeline. Now, if I come to translation research, we have identified the 7 domains of focus for ourselves. And these are AI, cybersecurity, medtech, drones, sustainability, semiconductors, and quantum technologies. We have made quite a bit of progress in these, of course, the reason we identified these 7 is because the work was already happening. There was already strength we had in these domains. So let me share with you what has happened over last year or so in this. Recently established this Vadhwani School for AI and Intelligent System with a projected committed amount of 560 odd crores, which will aim, primary of course an academic unit, but also it will aim to develop solutions in AI and cybersecurity. In medtech, again, Amit talked about the Gangwal School of Medical Sciences with a total outlay of 1,250 crores. In the drone, I just briefly mentioned the National Drone Technology Hub. This will have an outlay of around 500 crores. On the sustainability side, we have already Kotak School of Sustainability funded by the Kotak Bank. Total committed amount here is close to 300 crores. In quantum technology, we have 2 major projects undergoing within the National Quantum Mission. Again, a very substantial commitment there. And in the semiconductor space, we are again working very closely with the MIT to establish a semiconductor packaging hub on campus with a total investment of about 100 crores. So these activities have been going on and substantially strengthened over last year or so. And we want to take them even further. Now we come to the administration vertical. Administration, of course, supports faculty, students, and staff. That's the task of administration. And to address the issue of efficiency, like I said, today technology is available which can allow better decision making, faster decision making, and we aiming to use all the tools available today, the automation and AI tools, in terms of maintaining credential record, the blockchain technology, the data-driven policies, and creating, again, this is more on the sustainability side, to understand the optimal utilization of resources within campus. We need to have a digital twin where we can experiment to see what are the best optimal optimal processes that we should use. Okay, so these are the three components which I highlighted, and these are of course enabled by, these are within the institute. There is but the institute itself is not a closed system. It is connected with the outside world, in the industry, the government, other institutions. So that external relations is also something we must pay strong attention to. Doing all of this will require significant investment, so we need to raise funds, because government these days is telling us that you guys are adults. We have a lot of younger IITs to worry about, so we'll direct our funding towards them. You should stand on your own feet. So we are trying to. And the governance within the institute, we need to look at and improve on the processes and the governance structure within the campus. So here are some examples in the digital space. We just introduced a new digital and physical ID card. These are blockchain-based credential system. It can be used anywhere. There is an app on your mobile phone you can download. And it's still getting deployed, and we are hoping that eventually, within, let's say, within a year, all our alumni and everybody connected with the institute will have a type of such digital ID, which you don't have to then carry around in your wallet, and access to institute facilities will become a lot simpler. New data center is coming up with large compute power. We are behind in automation of our processes, and we are hoping that, again, within a year, we'll have a much better automation. And digitization of old documents is also going on quite significantly. One more thing that I have been focusing on is collaboration with the government of UP, for many reasons. One is that IIT Kanpur is a premier institution in the state. The state is today poised for strong economic growth, because the basic necessities for such a growth, law and order, infrastructure, is pretty much sorted. Our infrastructure, in fact, UP's road infrastructure will be the best in the country. So with such setup, and we see a lot of industries showing interest, there is no dearth of talent within the state. So there is a strong economic growth happening in the state, and IIT Kanpur, being the premier technology institute, can and should help the state in technology-based economy. Second, institute also benefits from it. If one of the complaints one often hears is IIT Kanpur is in the wrong city, because Kanpur has nothing to offer. Well, if the economic growth happens in the state, in particular of Kanpur city, then things will change. We'll have a lot more opportunities in the city itself, which will remove that tag that we have, that it's Kanpur has nothing to offer. So in that context, we have been working with the state government in drone space. They are closely working on that drone tech hub. In the government of UP has promised us very promised not only, committed very significant support for the med school, that 1250 crore budget outlay. They are committed to provide us about 40% of that funds. We have a very strong collaboration in the AI/ML. The Lucknow has been declared as the AI city, and we are working with the state government to create an AI hub in the state. And on the sustainability side also, the government is very keen to develop alternate fuels technologies, and none better than IIT Kanpur to collaborate with. Okay, now some lighter updates. There is a new building, and a lot of administrative offices have moved to that new building. That building you see just opposite auditorium. Some construction is happening of new things. We are now in hostel 15. And 16, 17 and 18 are in the pipeline. Because we have 10,000 students, we have to find accommodation for all. Academic area has grown. Now the auditorium is also going to come in there. VH, we are getting another extension made. Many of you who have struggled with washing of clothes, so of course dhobis used to do it in our time, they still do. But we have now a centralized laundromat with a lot of industrial grade washing machines and dryers, which can be used for this purpose. And we are aiming to make academic area free of motorized vehicles. It's a very tough challenge, but we are trying to figure out ways of running golf carts within the academic area, so that the biggest challenge there is creating parking outside the academic area. We need to have parking for enough vehicles. We have still not fully solved that problem. Okay, now we come to the fundraising. As I said, that we need to invest significantly. And I set myself last year a target of raising 5,000 crores during my tenure for this purpose. And that division of that was about 40% is my responsibility from the government. That is not mine individually, but collectively within the institute. Will raise from the government, within institutional resources. 40% will raise from alumni, and 20% from other donors, CSR and other industries. Now, of this, in last year, and I should say a little bit of cheating here, because some of this money was, like Gangwal School, some part of the money was already committed more than a year ago. But taking all that account, here we are today. About half the money has been committed. Of the institutional target of raising 40% of that, we have hit 28%, so we are well on our way. Other donors, 20%, we have hit 9%, so again that's well on the way. Alumni was 40%, that's only at 12%, so that has a bit of a lag or slack there. But I'm pretty sure this is just a year which has gone. I would say there is another 3+ years left. I'm very confident. The speed at which we are going will exceed the target, will not only meet. So that's good news. Thank you. That's all I have to say. Thank you for listening patiently. I'll be happy to take any questions if there is time. I don't know if there is time. I would dearly love to teach. Unfortunately, if I start teaching a course, it will be very unfair to the students, because my time is so badly fragmented, and this, the schedule gets decided at the last moment. There is a class schedule, suddenly I have to go to Delhi, then I have to miss the class. Then I'm gone for 3 days, miss multiple classes. Then I have to call students in the weekends to teach a 3-hour class. That's not the right way to teach. So therefore, I don't teach. But given a choice, if I can't find time, I would love to teach. That's one thing I miss the most.
Yes, sir. I computer science. And one of the most cherished moments is my
I would now request Dr. Amrita Singh to kindly address the gathering.
Just a small correction, Amrita Singh is the actress. I'm not. Doesn't matter, Shweta. What's in a name, really? So good morning, or just close to afternoon, and namaskar. Dear Professor, Director Agarwal, dear Research Dean, Professor Amay Karkare, and the IIT Kanpur Foundation Head, Mr. Kapil Kaul, and all you dear friends. I have taken this liberty of adding the adjective dear only because our bonds with IIT Kanpur are very dear to us. It was half a century back that some of us joined here. And it is those bonds that have brought us together for this very small initiative. I stand here as a representative of the GH alumni, our friends and well-wishers who resonated with this idea of the alumni scholarships for girls students. It is a very, very small initiative, but it is different because it will be a contributing rolling fund. We are hoping that the family of contributors will increase year on year, and that our small contribution will be the wind under the wings of the girl students who will soar high. Eventually, as Professor Karkare said, we will spread it across to the boys as well. But to make a small beginning, we are starting with the girls. We are confident that our ambassadors, the director, the dean, IIT Kanpur Foundation, and the very, very efficient, dedicated DORA team will carry this word across the globe. And we will have many, many more contributions. Right now, since it has just taken off, we have a small contribution, which you saw in the form of the check, but we are very hopeful. I think there are many across the globe who would like to make their small contribution to the alma mater. An alma mater that has allowed us to progress to where we are. And actually, I just want to say one small thing. Half a century back, our parents, it was their vision that they wanted us to be educated in a renowned institution, an institution which had dedicated faculty, wonderful infrastructure, and enabled us not only to study, but exposed us to theater, drama, music, sports, Spick-Mackey, La Montage, all that right from IIT Kanpur. All of us here, we dedicate this small initiative in memory of our parents. Our parents who are blessing us from the heavens above, I think it is their blessings which have enabled this launch. And we are so fortunate that it is occurring during PARWA, auspicious time, Teachers' Day yesterday. So ever so thankful to you. And I'm sure once, since this is publicly launched, the link will be available on the IIT Kanpur website, and our efficient DORA team will be sending you small emails. If there are any queries, we are here to try and answer them. This is a merit cum means initiative, and as Dean said, there are certain government initiatives which are based on means, but we are trying to target those women students or girl students who are slightly above that limit, who need the support, maybe for various things. It could be their mess bill, it could be their small registration fee for a conference, it could be their fees for gate, I don't know what. But our initiative is towards their financial support. And we look forward to you joining the family of contributors. Thank you. Namaskar, Shukriya.
Thank you, ma'am. I would now request Mr. Indranil Banerjee to kindly come forward and present a memento to the director. This is a request I received. No, he's not there? Okay, thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as we have come to the end of the ceremony, I request Mr. Kapil Kaul, CEO, ITK Development Foundation, to kindly deliver a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Shweta. And I have the honor and privilege of proposing the vote of thanks for this inaugural PARWA event. This is the first one that we are doing ever. And the first person I would like to thank for this is Professor Amay Karkare, because it was his idea. And he had been talking about it for a while. He put the team together and got it done. So he's essentially the ideator, not just ideating, but also the karta in many ways, who's driven this through, and the team that has backed him and to bring this to life. This is so heartening to see so many of you here with us today, spanning, I think, 6 decades, from 60s all the way up to, I would say, 2020s, or at least till 2020. We have people here with us, so which is a big thing for us, and we are really grateful to all of you for being here. Grateful to Professor Agrawal for being with us and giving us the State of the Union address in terms of giving you an update on how the Institute is growing, what are our challenges, what are we trying to achieve. Thank you for Professor Karkare for his address, and to all of you, more importantly, and Amrita ji for a very touching address. It was really inspiring. I firmly believe that this initiative that you've started today, it goes on to grow many-fold in the days to come. I believe the women alumni and women students of IIT Kanpur need to be more visible. They need more, as you said, this possibly gives them the air beneath their wings, and we're able to do so much more in this direction. Thank you so much for that. And a, a, a big thank you to the team at DORA IITKDF that has worked tirelessly to put this event together, do all the arrangements. There's a lot of hard work that goes on behind the scenes, where people are working day in and day out to make this happen. We've had a great anchor in Aparna who's been leading, coordinating for months with all of you, very ably supported by rest of the team at DORA office and IITKDF. And it's honestly for us, it's an honor and privilege that you are all here with us. Thank you very much once again. And we'll meet for the batch photograph after this outside, and we'll have a couple of group photographs with all of you. Thanks.
Thank you, everyone. Now we can move for group photograph.